Hello everyone, welcome back to this Microsoft Excel tutorial journey with me on my Knowledge Factor YouTube channel. This is session number 103 and we are learning the Power Pivot table in Microsoft Excel. Now, in the last session, we saw that how to build a relationship between two different tables, right? Now, as we have got our relationships created, we have got the two data sets, customer info and order info, right? But they are now related through that common value or common field of customer ID. Now that we have got the data model with all the data and the relationship, we are now going to create the pivot table based of those two sets of data. So I'm going to go back to the customer info tab. So I'm going to go back to my home tab, still inside the Power Pivot here, and about halfway down, we got an option for pivot table. If I hit the lower half of the button, you have got several options here to pull from. I'm going to just grab the pivot table, right? So this is going to bring us back into the standard Excel interface. We have got back to all our tabs there. There will be my customer info, my order info, and all other tabs that we have been working with. And we are going to create a new pivot table, and I'm going to just put it on a new blank worksheet. So I'll just hit OK. Alright, so from here it's really going to feel familiar. We just got done talking about pivot tables, right? Drag and drop process, but take a look at your fields list right here. We have got customer info, we have got order info, and I have got three other tables inside there. For me personally, it's three, but you might have more, you might have less. Any list inside of this active workbook that has been formatted as a table. So you go to home, format as table, so it will now show up inside your field list, which can get a bit confusing. Well, those are not what I want. That's not what I'm working with, right? I only want a customer info and order info. Why am I seeing everything else? Right, this is just the default behavior. Any list in the workbook that's been formatted as the table shows up here, and it becomes available, potentially becomes available to the data model as well. Now I'm going to ignore those three right now. So whatever you got there, table 2, 3, 10, 100, whatever you got, ignore them for now, right? And we want to focus on the customer info and the order info. So I'm going to go into customer info, got all those column headers, all those fields. I'm going to grab the country and I'm going to drop that down into the row section. So now I have got all the unique countries coming from the customer info tab. Now let's collapse it up, and I'm going to go into the order info. Remember, customer info is related to the order info. I'm going to grab the let's say order ID, and I'm going to drop it down into the value section. So let's just see what we get here. I don't know, man. What do you think? So here I think we have got a sum of the order ID, right? I don't think I really want to sum that. Remember those defaults? Excel looked at that and says, oh, that's a numeric value, I can sum that. Well, that's great, right? But I don't want to sum the order ID. That makes zero sense for me. So instead of summing up that, maybe I just want to count them. So I just want to know how many orders we have had inside of each of these countries. So I can just go to my little drop down here and go to the value field settings. Inside of our value field setting window, I'm going to change it from sum to account. Hit OK. So now there are two different data sets here. I can now look at this and say, hey, for Argentina, we had 16 orders. Argentina came from the customer info worksheet, but on the orders I need to get a count of them that came from the order info, and because we created that relationship through the customer ID, right, it is happening. Very cool. So that right there I think is worth its price, right? If you don't have the current version or the proper version that contains Power Pivot in your Excel, uh, this is huge change. Very cool feature to be able to create those relationships, be able to connect the data, and to be able to create reports like this based off of two data sets. That's a very cool feature. Now there's all sort of other little goodies that we can do here. Maybe it's not just the count, but I want to go to my order info and I want to grab the freight, let's say freight, right? And I'm going to drop it into the value section. So now I have got for Argentina we had 16 orders and total freight is $598.58. Well, that's great information, but maybe I don't want to sum. Maybe I want to get an average, so I'll just change that from average to sum using the value field settings. And now I have got an average freight for that order, for the count of orders for the various countries. This is so cool. So cool, right? You know what? Let's take it a step further. I'm going to get rid of this average freight, and maybe I want to take ship via, which is how they ship the products. And I'll drop that into the column section. So now I can see for Argentina, we had total 16 orders. 5 of them were shipped with option 1, 7 from option 2, and 4 from option 3. What do you think? Two different data sets connected, related to one another, all through Power Pivot. And we can now create Power Pivot tables. Try this out. Get in there, make sure you got the relationship, create the Power Pivot, and then try messing around with it. Drop your fields into the fields and from your field list into the various location of your pivot table. See what you get, modify the calculations and do whatever you want to, and just play around it, right? Experiment a little bit here and see what you can get from these two data sets that are related through the Power Pivot. Thank you so much guys for watching this tutorial, and as I always say, if you really liked it and enjoying this journey, then please do like, share and subscribe my channel, and also press the bell icon to get the latest content update on this channel. Alright then, we'll meet up in the next session. In case you have any questions, any concerns, then do let me know in the comment section of this video. So see you in the next session. Till then, stay safe, have a great life and take very good care of yourself.